Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello, Christopher. Happy Friday to you.
Oh, I'm so glad it's a Friday.
And why is that?
Because it's the only Friday this week, PJ. Why else?
Well, Friday, I mean, other than the fact that it's the end of the week for us, but it's also Fire It Up Friday.
Fire It Up Friday, that's correct. But if we had 2 Fridays in a week, we could have 2 Fire It Up Fridays. So to make up for that, we're going to fire up 2 vehicles on the 1 Fire It Up Friday we have this week, PJ.
Good deal. And what are we going to do with these 2? Which 2 are we going to do, and which?
Well, we're going to do a decibel contest, and it looks like I'm already talking at about this isn't right, 78. Okay, if I get loud, I'm at about 78 decibels.
Now, this is not official, and this is just
that's correct.
A decibel meter that's on an iPad that we're going to go ahead and see which one is louder.
That's right. First, an introduction. Dark Horse number 2. You saw the VIN number 1 go. Huge money, over $400K at Barrett Jackson. Ford was so nice. And made sure we got VIN number 2. That will be half of the grand prize. It will go with that F-150 Lightning that we promise will not win a decibel contest. Right?
And the Lightning you're talking about?
Yeah, that's correct. Both of those to 1 winner. And this Mustang has 4 different settings for active exhaust. For this contest, we're going to put it on its loudest setting. So the Mustang against the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS. That also has active exhaust. Though it only has 2 settings, we will put it on the loudest setting, which is the 2nd setting. So that's going to be the contest today. We're going to start with the Mustang. PJ, who's going to hold the meter?
I'll just put it right next to the tire, or the exhaust.
Put it next to the tire for it, okay? So I'm going to fire up the Mustang first. I'm going to give it 3 blips of the throttle. Highest number will be the score. PJ, who's out there watching today?
Let's see here. John says, hi, guys.
Hi, Jonathan.
The wrong thing. Larry West says the Mustang will win. I was going to ask you, Chris, who do you think is going to win?
I have no idea. I fired them both up before we went live. I don't know which one will win.
Don is.
I will tell you that
Don
Larry,
says he's ready for Fire It Up Friday.
Larry, thanks for helping the Super Bees win yesterday, though.
Yeah, that was great.
For the bracket voting. There you go. So. How are we going to do this, PJ? Am I handing this to you?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okay, and then I'm going to walk over to the Mustang. I'm going to fire it up, and then it's going to take a moment for me to get that active exhaust button going. In fact, PJ, why don't you show how I do that? So, fire it up, and then there's a little pony right here, a Mustang, if you will. And I go ahead and I hit that. And then after the introduction to the car comes up here on the nav screen. I hit the exit button here. Sometimes it takes a minute. Maybe I gotta shut the door, hold on. Okay, well, the pony settings. There we go. See how it just went to the quiet settings there, PJ?
Yeah.
And now here we go. I was just impatient, and look what happened. Now, cluster theme will let me choose the different gauges. Right now it's on Fox body. And if we go on through here, here we go, the exhaust mode over here. 4 different settings. Hear how quiet it is? So I'm going to put it on the most boisterous setting. There we go. You ready, PJ?
All right, so hang on. Give me a second here, and I'll get back here. We're going to put the decibel meter right over here. We've got some...
Give me a cue, PJ.
Right about there, so it's probably a good spot. So go ahead, Chris, anytime you're ready.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go. 3 blips. 1. 1 more.
All right, it looks like our highest was 108.1.
108.1. Can the Porsche beat it? We're going to find out.
Now, I did go to Bradenton 2 weeks ago.
Yeah? And what happened, PJ?
Though they had some top fuel dragsters going down the strip, and they had some funny cars, and I did take the decibel meter out there, and those were hitting 120.
120. And I must tell you guys, 120 decibels is ear damaging levels. Please
Yeah, I
wear
mean,
ear protection
I mean, this thing only goes
when
to
you're
130.
subjected to those sort of levels.
All right, heading over to the Porsche.
Okay, we're heading over to the Porsche.
Remember, we have to beat
Maki
108.
is not in the contest today.
Very funny.
Haha. Okay.
Let me go put this over here.
Okay.
So we
PJ,
know.
I'm going to show how we fire up the Porsche first.
Yeah. Kind of about in the same spot.
So the Porsche cabin is much, let's call it more traditional in what it shows you. No big screens on here. You've got analog gauges here. You've got your tachometer center screen. Wonder if I can get some lighting on in there. There it went. See how cool that looks? And what you do is you take this key and you put it in the ignition.
Now, left-handed.
Left-handed, yeah.
That drives me crazy.
Yeah, well, I hear you. And then over here, you simply have that exhaust button. So instead of it being on a display waiting for it to load, you simply hit that button or turn that button off.
And that's going to give you two different sounds for the exhaust?
Two different sounds. So I'm going to go to the louder sound and we're going to do the same thing. 3 different blips of the throttle. But before we do that, who do you guys, which car do you think is going to win?
Charles Brown says, I think the Porsche will beat it.
Okay.
And we just did the Ford
Just did
Dark Horse, right?
Just did the Dark Horse, correct. Anybody else on the Porsche?
I don't see anybody.
Okay. I honestly don't know which one is louder.
So it was 108.1.
108.1. So here I'm going to fire it up.
I'm going to go back here and take a look. I think 106.5 was the highest that I saw on there. We did not.
The Dark Horse wins, ladies and
Dark Horse
gentlemen.
wins.
Wow. There you have it. I honestly didn't know which one. And let's face it, 106.5, you said, PJ?
Yeah.
To 108.1 is not even a 2 decibel difference. So they are pretty darn close. But the new Dark Horse edges out the Porsche GT4 RS in our unofficial decibel contest.
Yes. Please don't write to the manufacturers and say that we did something wrong.
There you go. Well, guys.
Now, Lowell says he, as he was watching, saw a 107, so maybe we actually did get 107 on this Porsche.
107,
so it's possible, yeah.
But the 107 still doesn't hit 108.1.
Right.
So we're still going to give the contest, at least this week, to the Dark Horse Mustang, brand new from Ford. You're probably just starting to see them out there in the wild, on the streets.
Now, when we do these fire it ups, normally we don't do a newer car because there's really not that much excitement, right?
Correct. But when you have a Porsche GT4 RS versus a new Dark Horse Mustang, there's a whole lot of excitement going on, right, PJ?
That's right.
That's so cool. Well, PJ, let's kick that weekend off early for our fans out there on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to leave the Porsche here.
Oh.
I know it's a
That's
great,
okay.
It's a great Friday.
Because
so.
we will see you on Monday with more great fun and more great action, more great grand prizes. GT4 RS, a Dark Horse Mustang, and a Lightning. Viper truck ends in 6 short days. Next week we know who wins the F-150 and the Classic Mustang. It all happens here live in our favorite place on earth. That's right.